Ryan, hello. Do you have a robot or story?
Well, I'm about to. I hope the microphone's on.
Yep, it's on. We can hear you.
Cool. I'm getting a $5,000 blimp,
Holy
and
cow.
I never thought I'd have any blimp, but it's for advertising, and I
Oh,
started the advertising
yeah.
company so I can do the
Right.
charity business. And I'm hoping to get that really badass Android Arduino clone that's got 8 pulse width modulation channels, so you can do the radio control with it. Because
Right.
how cool would it be to say, yes, I'll be there in just a minute, and you go outside and you release the balloon and it flies to the destination, and then you show up, swap batteries, and play for another 2 hours, and then send it home, and when you get home, it's there. I'm thinking that would be very cool, especially the part where if it goes out of control, it doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
That's the first toehold.
That would
Yeah,
be cool.
and not losing it would be a good thing. Now, if my mic's open,
Yep, your mic is open.
and now I can't hear him anymore, and he's talking, so I don't know if he got cut off or not. But there was a story recently how there was a tremendous need for helium over in overseas, and it's like, well, what are you going to use for lifting gas?
Well, I could use hydrogen. It does work. I don't think it would be a problem.
So, how did this blimp cost $5,000?
And if it is a problem, it'll only be a problem for just a short time.
Yeah. The base cost, it's got like an 8 or 9 channel transmitter. It's got a transmitter in it that sends back the battery voltages so you can tell when the battery's getting too low. And for a slightly larger one, which I can't believe, a 20 footer is $20,000 to start. They get real quick. I can carry, I think, 2 pounds. The weight of probably my most favorite sailplane, the Gentle Lady, weighs 2 pounds. There's just no room by the time you put the batteries and the radio in. You're not going to carry anything. But fortunately, we're putting great big graphics on the side, Eat at Joe's. And as soon as it's paid off, we'll be able to do charity stuff all the time. And that's where I was heading with it anyway. But notice, robot without wheels.
Yes, flying robot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, are you good at making stuff? Because it seems to me that you could use the Ardu copper or whatever.
Well, I used to be. I started out in 1978 wiring 7400 TTL, and then, wow, the 68,000 processor kind of pranged my head, actually. I went back down to the Z80 and everything was cool. So much less complicated, especially when you're a guy on your own in a little tiny Midwestern town and nobody else. I remember a time where you'd hear someone say computer, and I'd go sit next to them because nobody else had heard that word. It's been a very long time ago.
Cool.
But yeah, I used to work with all the discrete components and such, and do the troubleshooting using oscilloscopes and all the stuff we had at the time. My dad was a two-way radio tech, so all the gear was here.
So
I'm looking forward, Arduinoing and ArduPilot and all that stuff when I'm able.
yeah, you should just really jump right into it because I don't think it would be too difficult for you. I mean, it's a lot of fun and pretty much everyone can do it. So, did you already buy the? Did you already?
It's supposed to be here in about a week.
Oh, you should have tried to make it yourself.
Well, the problem is the 11-foot long polyurethane hull. Apparently, that's the technical term for the big gas bag in which, well, the gas resides. That's the hard part. And if I could make one of those myself, then doing the rest would be fairly easy.
That is an interesting
How
challenge.
much do the electronic cost?
I'm not real sure.
I
know that the smallest, I think between 6 and 10 feet, 10 or 11 feet, is $5,000 total kit cost. And then when you go to 20 foot, it goes to 20,000. And if you want to go to 50 foot, in which you can really have all the cameras and the Arduino and all that other kind of crap in it, then we're talking like 50 grand or higher. It's nearly $1,000 a foot, and I can hardly believe that. But if I found a way where I could get one for $200 instead, I'd definitely be buying it.
Could you just use a quadricopter and hang a banner from it?
I thought about it, but banners tend to blow and get out of control. With this, it should be a very simple matter of climbing to altitude, staying out of the trees, and like that. It's internally lit, so it becomes its own billboard. Quadcopters would be great for only doing the reconnaissance, filming of various events. But I wanted to do more with this, and there was no other way to get it done.
If I could make a simple comment, there's also the insurance issues with the blimp, that there's minimal damage versus anything that's powered, like a plane or a helicopter. If it crashes, it can cause quite a bit of damage, if not injury.
That's
true. And this blimp has two brushless motors on it, but they're down low and they're in guards, and they've got screen across them, so it's hard to get your fingers in there and get hurt. And the thing weighs almost literally nothing, so the insurance cost is like, you bumped into me, move. They just, it's so. If this was a powered plane, and we're doing 60 or 70 miles an hour to stay in the sky, that gets kind of dangerous. But the blimp is nice and family friendly.
What? Go ahead.
If you'll go to Facebook and find the High Hopes advertising page, you'll be able to see all the video that it takes and videos of the thing and get all the details.
Cool. What happens if a hole gets poked in the blimp?
Well, it'll come down, but it has a kind of a rip-stop kind of a nature to it. It's not just going to pop. It'll leak, and we'll have to patch it, and we'll keep flying with it because, $5,000.
Oh, okay, so you can just patch it easily then.
Yeah.
That's
It's not like the Mylar stuff that'll rip the moment it gets too much, or just the right kind of hole in it.
Wow. That's a really big investment. I hope it really works out for you.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of think of it like the space station, where they get a little hole and they just a little bubble gum and just patch the hole.
Kind of, yeah.
Cool.